will celebrate the grand opening of our Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning adult program. We are so thankful to so many of you who have been with us every step of the way so that the day would finally here. My name is Stanley Cole. I'm the principal of Silicon Valley Chinese School. I would like to special thanks a few persons who gave us fully support on this new program. First of all, Minister Dr. Tseng Yuan of Overseas Community Affairs Council, Republic of China, Taiwan, for supporting the program and textbooks. Assembly member Evan Lowe of California has been supporting Silicon Valley Chinese School since he was mayor of Campbell. Thank you, Evan. Superintendent Mrs. Polly Bove of Fremont Union High School District for letting us use this beautiful Lindbergh High School facility. Thank you. On behalf of Silicon Valley Chinese School, we would like to thank each of you for taking time out of your busy schedule today. Thank you very much. Thank you.
A very lovely city and also with a gorgeous weather. So I'm very pleased to announce the grand opening of the Silicon Valley Chinese School under, the grand opening of the Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning under the Silicon Valley Chinese School. I think learning a language is not only a language. Silicon Valley is the hub and the center of the global high technology industry. It's quite important to learn another language. Language will impose more power for the city's development. With the new language learning, I think Silicon Valley will maintain competitiveness of the global high technology industry. So we are so glad to provide another tool for you to continue to remain the global competitiveness. Mandarin learning fever is a very important phenomenon in international society. Nevertheless, last October, U.S. government announced the National Security Language Initiative Youth with emphasis on Mandarin learning opportunity outside of China. So as a result, Taiwan and the United States signed a memorandum on Taiwan-U.S. Education Initiative last December, emphasizing and consolidating Taiwan's important role in providing Mandarin learning opportunities for students from the United States and other countries. So this is very important opportunity for us to open this Taiwan Center for more people to learn and particularly to understand each other between Taiwan and the United States. With Mandarin learning fever spreading around the world, Taiwan's excellent Mandarin education will play a very important role of contribution. Particularly, the Overseas Community Affairs Council, our council, has been supporting Mandarin education to our overseas compatriots for decades, particularly in this area for more than 5 decades already, with more than 1,000 compatriot Mandarin schools all over the world. So we are so glad to choose Silicon Valley Chinese School as our partner to establish the Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning. The Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning is our new project to cooperate with local community Chinese school to provide Mandarin education with Taiwan characteristics in local mainstream society. Learning a language, as I mentioned to you, is not only learning a language per se, but also learning culture, way of life, society, communication, exchange, and value in essence. So based upon Mandarin teaching expertise and also experience of our overseas compatriot Mandarin school for decades, we will continue to support Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning Center with trained Mandarin teachers, newly compiled bilingual textbook, Let's Learn Mandarin, which just completed by the end of August, and also teaching materials suitable for adults in all walks of life, diverse cultural activities of 1,000 events hosted by our cultural center in this region, and more importantly, a teaching environment with complete freedom of speech and all openness, diversity, and also democracy. Secondly, we also would like to invite the students of the center to Taiwan to participate in language camps and even bilingual exchange study program. The students in Taiwan can immerse themselves to learn Mandarin with a more direct experience of Taiwan's culture, society, and economy in a democratic, free, open, and diverse environment. Thirdly, we will continue to utilize Taiwan's tremendous resources of prestigious Mandarin learning institutions, as well as smart educational industry to assist Taiwan Center in the United States and Europe. Fourthly, we would like to invite senior Mandarin teachers to Taiwan, over the world to Taiwan to exchange and cooperate with Taiwan's Mandarin education institution, as well as smart educational industry in Taiwan. We plan to host Mandarin Teaching International Summit at the end of this year and afterward. Finally, I think this year we will continue to utilize artificial intelligence technology to host 3 worldwide competitions with thousands participation. First one, Mandarin oral speaking. Second, Mandarin composition writing. And third, Mandarin song singing. I think with the cooperation of the new technology, this will provide a more interesting way for people to learn Mandarin. So the smart education tool will help United States people to learn Mandarin in a more interesting, effective, and smart way. In the future, our council will continue to integrate the resources of government, industry, and also academia, and use Taiwan's Mandarin teaching advantages as well as smart education industry to help Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning to enhance Mandarin teaching capability, particularly in this area. And Silicon Valley Chinese School has been teaching, cultivating people in this region for more than 47 years, and has been recognized and also get a lot of accreditation from many institutions. So we are so glad to choose Silicon Valley Chinese School as our partner. We are quite confident this school will play a very important role to provide Mandarin teaching experience and also capability to all people in this region, and also help our people in this region to learn Mandarin. Finally, I would like to mention that during the current pandemic period, we hope all of you can maintain safe and also healthy. And we sincerely invite American people to learn Mandarin in Taiwan Center with a convenient, smart, interesting, open, diverse, free, and finally democratic environment just in your neighborhood. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
非常的感谢委员长。
Gentlemen, good morning. I'm Scott Lai, Director General of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in San Francisco, which represents the interests of ROC Taiwan government in Northern California, Nevada, and Utah. It is an honor to be here today to witness the opening ceremony of the Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning in Silicon Valley Chinese School. I have to say that we are very lucky because today is a historical moment, since this is the first Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning in Northern California, and we have the pleasure to witness the ceremony. As we know, learning Mandarin is getting more and more important in the US, and the demand of good teachers and textbooks are very high. However, providing a free and open environment for Mandarin learning is also very important and Taiwan and US, we share the same common values, freedom, democracy, and human rights. That's why I believe the establishment of the Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning in Silicon Valley Chinese School will be able to provide our American friends with high-quality Mandarin learning environment. By saying that, I'm hoping that next time when I meet our American friends here, we will be able to communicate in Mandarin. And once again, it is an honor to be here today. I wish the Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning in Silicon Valley Chinese School great success, and everyone all the best. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, our representatives of the ministry in TECO and Dr. Tung and Director Lai. It's a pleasure to see you again. The last time I was in Taiwan was almost about 2 years ago. And in fact, I was on an airplane, and then I hear Evan. And surely enough, Stanley's also on the airplane. So this is the closest that I get to going to Taiwan, so we'll look forward to additional opportunities. Let me also just say how much I have a deep affection and love for Taiwan. California has much to learn from Taiwan. Taiwan has its president, a strong female, as leader of Taiwan. We have much to learn in our democracy. Taiwan was the first in Asia to support marriage equality and a democracy. Taiwan has high-speed rail, old technologies, and as you all know, we in California are looking to implement high-speed rail. So we have much to learn from our dear friends in Taiwan. It is also equally important for us to make recognition of the fact that this is important more now than ever in terms of the cultural ties. When you think about the census in California, and particularly here in the Bay Area, close to 40% of the population will consist of Asian Pacific Islanders. So language is critical. I'm a fourth generation here in California speaking more Spanish than I do Chinese, so I do want to sign up and maybe take an opportunity to learn and bring all of our dear public officials to join as well. So that's a future delegation perhaps. But it also goes to show the strong turnout from our public officials who are here. And so to our dear friends from the ministry and from TECO, you should be very proud to see that we have public officials, mayors, and our only Asian Pacific Islander Board of Supervisors here, Otto Lee, in support. And again, to all of our public officials, thank you for helping to codify the strong relationships that we must continually do, especially now more than ever, in a globalized world, to help understand that much more with deep empathy, grace, and dignity. So we look forward to continuing this partnership, and what a wonderful celebration. Thank you very much.
We know the importance of Chinese learning can never be underestimated. I have 3 daughters, and my oldest one, who is actually here today, told me about 5 years ago, like, Daddy, I really hate learning Chinese. And I said, you know what? Everything is negotiable. This one isn't. You know why? Because in a few years, you will appreciate it and you will thank me. And a couple of years ago, she actually said, Daddy, you're right. I'm glad now I understand what's going on, and it has added so much to her life, of her friendship with people around her schools. And it's absolutely not just the language, but the culture and the understanding of how people think. And with the competition with China and the United States moving forward, where we have been going with so many potential conflicts in trade, in political, in economic, the language of Mandarin would really help peace around the world, is my true belief. And that's one of the reasons I really believe that everybody, not just the kids of Chinese parents, but everybody really needs to learn Mandarin. When you see the granddaughter of President Donald Trump back then singing in Chinese, it really dawned on me how important this language is, how important this partnership is around the world for world peace. And what you're doing today, right here, to create this Taiwan Center for Mandarin Learning is a huge step ahead to keep everybody safe, prosper, for a beautiful future to come. As a supervisor for Santa Clara County, we have Hsinchu City as our sister county for many, many years. And I strongly promote that once we are able to travel again, I would love to lead the delegation to promote this opportunity of our friendship, working together on technology and culture and education for our future generation. And I'm so delighted and honored to be here, to have the ability to speak with you today on this very important issue, and I have a small gratitude to give. Right here, please come up to present you this commendation.
So grateful for the long, long partnership. I think Stanley and I have known each other for over 10 years. Over 15 years ago, Michael Chang and a variety of people from this organization helped us make a trip to Taiwan, and it was life-changing for all of us who went. It really helped us understand what the history, the culture, and the educational experience of so many of our families and students really was. And we are very honored to continue that partnership with Silicon Valley Chinese School. And like Evan, I feel like I really need to sign up because I'm embarrassed that I am speaking to you in English. I would so love to be speaking to you today in Mandarin. So let me just say that the other thing that I'm excited about, and I know the Board of Trustees and my Deputy Superintendent Graham Clark agree, we are thrilled to share the newest version of our Lindbergh High School with you, because that's the reason we build these schools, not just for our students, but for events like today and relationships like the one we have with Silicon Valley Chinese School. These are community facilities, and our taxpayers have supported this, and today is like a stellar event with the flags, with all the celebration, to say, yes, this is not just an incredible educational facility, but an incredible community facility. So I need my helper here to learn one new Mandarin word. What's the Mandarin word for gift? Li Wu. Li Wu? Woohoo, good job. So all of you, yes, all of you and all of the long-standing relationship we've had with Silicon Valley Chinese School, the incredible culture you have given all of us and to all of our, continued with our students and our family. You are a Li Wu. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. Absolutely. Please.
我觉得中文水平最低的人应该在这个地方练习一下，所以我会先用中文讲几句话，然后用英文解释我想讲什么，所以大家谢谢。Cupertino 有一个姐妹城市在新竹，我们也有3个friendship city 在台湾，最新的是新台北，而我们的 chair 是Jerry Liu， 我们的 CUSD president。Cupertino 那个 school district K 到8年级也有一个中文学校。我的孩子现在坐在那边，4年级跟1年级，他们都参加这个学校，所以我特别感谢 Fremont Union， 让我们今天有这个 ceremony， 因为我们如果有多一点的机会，可以让我们的孩子学中文，从9年级到12年级，那是更好。所以谢谢大家，谢谢 SVCS。而且学中文是可能是最重要的，因为讲中文的人在这个地球上比讲英文的人多，而且如果我们想这种很困难的问题， 像我们地球的温度越来越增加，我们一定在这一代、下一代，需要有讲中文的人，需要帮我们的忙，所以谢谢大家。So I'm going to try to briefly translate what I said in English. So I apologize for having the worst language skills in Chinese, speaking Chinese, but it's probably appropriate in this particular context to practice. And so I want to thank everyone for being here. I'm particularly appreciative of the Fremont Union High School District for allowing us to have this ceremony here. CUSD, whose president and a board member is here today, has a K-8 immersion program for Chinese, and we're very grateful that its president is actually the committee chair of our Friendship City for New Taipei City, which we just started in Cupertino, and we have 2 other friendship cities as well as a sister city in Hsinchu, Taiwan. It's particularly important to learn Chinese, I think, and my kids are learning it in the CUSD program right now, because of the future of our world problems. More people actually speak Chinese than speak English, and that's not a competition, of course, but in order to solve our future problems in this generation and the next, particularly things like global warming, we're going to need to all pull together and cooperate. So thank you very much for all the efforts here. Thank you, Stanley. Thank you to our friends from Taiwan, from which both my parents and my wife come, and I really appreciate all of your efforts here today. Thank you.
Agree with Mayor Paul. I know that when I was growing up, I used to ask my parents, why am I studying Chinese school? And so this is just a great example of why it's so important, and especially now more than ever. In this moment when we've had a lot of challenges in our communities, we realize how important it is for us to come together as a world and working together on education and on family. In this moment where sometimes people question AAPI hate, and one of the reasons why is the fear of the unknown. And so I feel so blessed. I was born in Chicago, grew up here, but my parents gave me the opportunity when I was little. I was listening to the content in terms of, what types of contests we could enter, and I was joking with Assembly Member Evan Lowe and saying that maybe we could enter the singing one, because that's about it for karaoke. Unfortunately, for my language limit, it's from some Zilahu or something like that, because I took nursery school there. But I also wanted to thank Director Tong and also Stanley, the principal quo, because having this constant opportunity to utilize your language skill is so important. I also am proud to have the opportunity in the past. 我有参加那个台湾那个文教中心那个海外青年中心的 the study tour or the love boat, so that's a different type of love. But I also worked over there. So in my former life, I also was a worldwide sales controller. And so living in the city of Fremont, we really recognize and appreciate the incredible opportunity for cultural diversity, and recognize that in these moments of challenge, whether it's in the situations right now with the COVID and the friendship that we've been able to build. And I want to thank Director Lai and all the people of Taiwan for their support to our city in the donations of PPE, or for the partnership that we have right now. For example, in our city, we also have, besides a large Chinese population, a large population from Afghanistan. And so we're doing a relief fund, and to date we've been able to raise $150,000, and we hope to do more to help. But right now, what I look at is when I see the children, I feel so fortunate to look at the next generation. And the next generation, in building that awareness, children don't have that feeling of fear or hate, because children are welcoming and accepting to all people. And that's what we need more of. And so I'm so excited and ecstatic to have the Taiwanese for Mandarin learning and here at the Silicon Valley Chinese School, and having Principal Ko and all of you as partners in this. We look at the region, and we have so many different school districts and educators, and I think that's critical. I'm so blessed. I used to be the only school board member in our city's history to be on city council, but I also believe in succession planning and building the pipeline for the future. And so I'm proud to have my colleague here with me today, the vice mayor, who also was on the school board. And so this is just an opportunity that we can continue to foster, that we can grow the next generation, and that we can help build and strengthen the relationship. I also wanted to, in closing, say that Alameda County's sister county is Taoyuan, And so having lived there and worked over there too before my former life, I would love to again have that opportunity. I echo Assemblymember Evan Lowe's comments about the transportation and high-speed rail. When I worked in Taiwan in the late 80s, there was still no Jieying, and now it's much better. So I think I would have a much better transportation loop and travel throughout the cities in Taiwan. So looking forward to continue the relationship. Proud that we've had the opportunity to host your mayors and your counties to come visit us in Fremont, and looking forward to doing more together, to rebuild and reopen together.
It's such an honor to stand with my mayor beside me, because it is the first time in the history of City of Fremont that we have the Chinese mayor and Chinese vice mayor. In our course of work, we realized that language skill is so important to communicate with our community members in our service, especially as community leaders. So fortunately, both our mayor and me, we are bilingual. As for me, I was born in China, so I'm fortunate to continue to use my language skill to serve the community. You all know that they don't pay too much to the mayor and vice mayor in Fremont, so I have to find a side job. And my side job is court-certified Chinese interpreter. And starting this month, I'll be teaching Introduction to Translation and Interpretation at De Anza College, Mandarin course number 51. And I hope all the graduates from this language learning center can eventually come to my class so that I can teach them how to be a bridge in the communication and continue to serve the community. Thank you very much, and I wish success to this language learning center. And on behalf of the City of Fremont and our mayor, I will say again, 我们爱你们.
Is that we consider the mindfulness of the emotional well-being of the people of China, of Taiwan, and every one of the immigrants that we have in the United States. The public education system is in need of your support, your monetary support, your language support, and your understanding. As I was standing there, one of the young ladies standing next to me also reminded me that Taiwan also has an amazing universal healthcare system. And the ability to bring those things to California, to these regions, will be up to all of us in working together collaboratively. I look around into the audience, I see all of the adults. Behind us, I see the children. And it's my continued hope that we will invite all cultures to be a part. There are so many teachers that would like to be able to communicate with their parents. There are so many children that would like to see in their teachers just a little bit of understanding of where they are from. So I hope your inaugural classes are filled with educators from the Silicon Valley of all demographics, of all nationalities, of all ages, of all races. And when you have that type of work in collaboration with the public education system and the charter school system, you will see a transformation in the culture. You will see different things on the news. You will see them promoting positivity. You will see them promoting unity. You will see them promoting multicultural respect in a way that we have never seen before. And who I have with me today, because the Milpitas Unified School District Board is very, very diverse. And we are intentional in our approach to recognize the African ancestry heritage of the city of Milpitas, the Latino heritage of the city of Milpitas, the Chinese heritage of the city of Milpitas, the Vietnamese heritage of the city of Milpitas. So when I see what's happening here, I am hopeful that each one of you has a friend or has a friend of a friend that can reach out to someone of a different nationality, of a different culture, and say, this is for you, as well as it is for me. Thank you for this opportunity, and I'd like to give my Vice Mayor an opportunity to say a few words.
Lee Kelly Yip Chuan. Unfortunately, I did not learn too much Chinese when I was growing up, speaking Cantonese and some Vietnamese at home. And then, in college or in high school, I took French and Spanish and Mandarin. So I had a lot of Chinese friends, and I wish I had just, focused on one of the main language, which is Mandarin. And so now my daughter's in high school, and she's taking Mandarin her second year. So, but we're very fortunate to be living in the Silicon Valley and to know the multicultural countries that people coming in here and living here. Chris and I, we're very honored to be here as your special guest, and we want to thank you and say 谢谢.
And we have the proclamation. Don't cut yet. Do not cut yet. I count 3, all right? 3, 2, 1, cut! And we are very happy to have our Commissioner of Overseas Community Affairs Council, Commissioner Anna Wei, and Commissioner... Okay, everybody hold your position. Show your handsome and beautiful faces. 揭牌仪式，我们请我们委员长还有校长、中心的主任2位一起，3、2、1，揭牌！ We're so happy and so thankful you're here, and we have 2 wonderful Chinese programs inside.
说我们台湾的华语文要开始这边的推动对美国成人的一个教育，那希望说结合台湾华语文的教育优势，还有特别是一个自由、民主、开放、多元的环境下面，来提供更好的优质的华语文教育。所以我们很有信心，因为矽谷的中文学校有47年的教学历史，有非常良善的这个老师，所以我们很有信心说未来可以合作，将这样的华语文教学可以推广给美国的社区。
是，那在第1阶成立之后，那未来的计划短期内会不会有其他？
我们今年试办，那有15间美国的学校要成立，我们未来4年要成立100间，所以我们相信在美国呢有很多华语文学习的这个需求，而我们是跟美国政府合作，希望在美国推动在社区的华语文教学，所以我们会集尽台湾的力量。包括华语文学习的系所，以及我们智能教育产业，会共同来协助美国推动这样的华语文教育。
那我们教会提供的资源方面，给这些学校的是哪些？
目前有6大部分，第一个是老师的培训跟认证，第2个是我们的俄语教材，那我们现在新编了一本叫《来学华语》，第3个是学生的文化活动，会跟我们文化中心结合在一起，第4个呢是我们让学生回台湾参加我们的夏令营，还有我们的相关的营队。第4个呢是让我们的学生能够回台湾参加英语服务营，这第5个部分。最后呢，我们希望有国际的研讨会，还有国际的竞赛，可以让更多的语言教学可以交流，也让学生可以参与更全面性的一个学习的这个机会。
谢谢委员长。好。